I drank too much. Downtown was where I was, drinking away all those memories of you. Waking up not feeling fine, can't walk in a straight line. Open blinds and the sun reminds me of you.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Talk the Talk. My name is Daniel Castaneda. Today on the show we have a very special guest. He's a musician, firefighter, author, and this is his first book, Mr. Nason Rumfield. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book here? This
Yeah,
is your first book, right?
It's my first book. It's long overdue. This has been a several years in the making kind of project. This in particular, I was just working on for the better part of 1 year, but I'd been wanting to release a book, stories that I had in my head for some time now. This particular story, it's a fictional novel. It's about a young man who loses his wife. Suddenly she passes, and it's just everything that he goes through to cope with that loss. All the other individuals that surround him in his life and take part in his journey through that grief, and just finding his hope again and his faith again. And it's just got a lot of genre influences on it. It's got drama and humor, and there's scary parts and there's sad and happy parts, and it's.
And is this something that you've been thinking about for a long time? That you were like, you know what, it's been there in the back of my head. It's time to do it. And
yeah, releasing a book, yes. I've been telling stories for quite a bit of my life as it is, and that's always been. I love words. I love storytelling. But this particular book, I had maybe the idea for it 3 years ago, the initial idea of it. But I was undergoing the paramedic class with the fire department, and you don't write a book while you're going through a paramedic class unless you fail the paramedic class. So,
and it's funny. I mean, because you're saying it's a fictional. But did you get some kind of an ideas as you were as a firefighter? Because I know you're a firefighter right now.
Yeah,
right?
that did have an influence on it. It's not autobiographical at all. It has nothing to do outwardly with the fire department or with being a paramedic. But my being on the ambulance so much as we are definitely had an effect on what was written in the end, because of just all the loss that I saw, all the lost lives, all the grieving families, and I would look at that and just think like how if they had something that could motivate them back to finding their hope again, because when you're there, everything is business. You have to keep it professional, and it's not as open-ended to counseling as you may like it to be. So I would hope that this would serve as a counseling tool to just read it.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, reading your first book, and then having so much I guess a little bit of a background to it, gives you an idea, a better picture of how to cope with everything. Because only people that are out there, that actually lost loved ones, find it really hard for them to actually cope with themselves, grieve and stuff like that. And that also you're a bass player, right, for a band?
Yeah, I'm in the band until my end.
Okay.
We're still active, playing bass for that.
What kind of music do you play?
It's all original rock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's not a cover band at all. They're all original songs. But I'd say the influence is like modern rock mixed with 80s influence, a lot of synth.
Is it heavy rock, or is it like smooth?
It's everything from smooth to heavy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. And on that, what band is it that you like?
Well, we mostly get compared to 30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay.
I guess also like The Cure, though, and maybe Deftones, Linkin Park, without maybe like the rap element, but the influences are really just it's a lot. The four of us it's a four-man group. The four of us have very different influences coming together in this. Everything from oldies to reggae on top of everything rock. So, but then we also like a lot of rock from the 70s to modern day and metal and things like that. So
I'm a very huge fan of 80s and 90s.
There's a lot of 80s influence and 90s as well. Yeah, actually, 90s alternative grunge is in there for sure.
And for this being your first book, is there another one that you're thinking of?
Certainly, this is going to be the first of more to come. It just felt good to get this out first. This to me wanted to be the first book.
Nice. Where do you can the people in the audience get a copy of this book?
Right now, the best place would be just to go to Amazon.com. I'm working on getting it into more stores. It's in some local shops so far. It's gonna, probably have more widespread access as I distribute it. I mean, I'm self-managing at this point, so it's just gonna be work in progress as it goes. But Amazon.com would be the best. You can order it physically as you see it now in paperback. You can get it as an ebook. There's going to be an audiobook version releasing soon that can be downloaded, I believe, through Audible. So, yeah, but that'll all be accessible through Amazon.com.
Oh, okay. Nice. For the audience out there, if they have any questions, like as far as how sometimes, and I mean we've probably gone through it, while you're writing and you just hit a stump. You need ideas. You need how to do all that. Maybe for the audience, if they have a question for you, where can they reach you at?
The old writer's block. Well, I don't have a problem giving out my email. It's just my first and last name, Nason Rumfield @gmail.com. And anyone is welcome to email me.
Do you have a Facebook where they can?
Also on Facebook. If you search Nason Rumfield, that's a pretty uncommon name.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's going to come up within 1,000 miles. So.
Nason, has anybody told you that you look like Nicolas Cage?
No, never.
No?
Never. No, all the time. Literally every day I hear that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of features and stuff like that.
More than anything, they pull out photos from Valley Girl, and they say like that Nicolas Cage, which that's not so bad, because he looks terrible now. So that's not so bad.
No, I mean with age, I mean.
Yeah. But at least he's still out there making movies.
Yeah. On that, I know that you submitted a film for J.A.R's film festival.
Okay.
And are we gonna see something else like that?
More movies.
Tell me a little bit about that movie that you submitted, and what other films, if you have any other films that you're coming up with.
Oh, okay. Well, they'd had a film festival recently. They have several, and whenever it comes up, they've been nice enough to say, hey, we have an opening for you if you have something you'd like to submit. And I'll throw something their way if there's anything I can dig up. Like I haven't been in production with things recently for a long while. I've lost a lot of my partners in filmmaking, if you will, to just moving out of the area. But as far as the future goes, I don't want to stop filmmaking. I would want to keep it up. It's still interesting to me. I still have a vision for it. Immediately so, I would say that making a movie out of this would be great. Making it to where it could be, if I had a first feature length, it'd be amazing if I could do something out of the book. And I would even have a unique idea for that in particular, in that if I were to do so, I would purposely want to do it creating, on purpose, the problem that Hollywood normally does, where they take a book and change it to whatever they want.
Yeah.
And just, it's reminiscent of the book. I would want to do that. Like, I think that'd be just a very fun experiment to do that on purpose, but that I'm responsible for the changes.
Yeah.
This sounds fun, and also
because a lot of you can actually get like a couple of ideas and then stuff just thrown around.
Yeah.
Where you'll have like a dramatic piece that, because I know a lot of people can actually relate to that. If you lose a loved one, or if you lose your spouse, maybe you lost a child and stuff like that. That would actually make a very good dramatic film.
Sure.
You know, so I mean that would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Nason, tell us, for the audience out there, is there anything that you would like to let them know as far as like a beginner writer? You know, give them an inspiration, like don't stop for your goals and stuff like that. You know, just reach your goals.
Yeah, certainly, I would agree with that. If anyone feels like they have a story out there, if they wish that they could put it on paper and release it to the world, I'd say just go for it. You know, they absolutely should. It's easier to do now than ever. I mean, I can recommend Amazon. I mean, that's how I self-published it. I did it entirely through their site. You know, when it comes to things like if you feel like you don't have a full idea or enough of an idea, just you know, focus on finishing that story that you have. If you have something in mind and you feel like it's something that can, you know, reach someone, mean something to someone, finish it. Put it on paper. Even if you have to just do a string of notes that you'll connect to a book later, like do what you can to make it happen. This in particular, I mean, I don't know if anyone else's method, you know, can jive with this or not, but I had finished in my head from beginning to end before it reached paper. You know, I knew how it was going to end. I knew what was going to happen in the center of it, and you know, the rest just flowed from writing. I used a writing software in particular that helped a lot called Bibisco. Oh. It's an Italian-made software actually, but it's free to the public. If you go to bibisco.com, I believe it's BIBISCO.com. It's really good at just taking your idea and structuring it. So it makes it to where you finish a chapter and you look at it and you say like, oh, like there's a chapter. Let's go on to the next chapter. You know. Yeah. So it motivates you to keep going on like that too. I would recommend someone get something like that as well. It does help with the flow of things. It helps with pacing. And yeah, just if you're out there and you're sitting on a book, release it. You know, get it out there for sure. It is easier to do now than ever. It doesn't cost a lot. You know, just make sure to get it copyrighted and whatnot, and the rest is history.
Well, there you have it, folks. Mr. Nason Rumfield. This is his book right here that he published.
Now that you have somebody new, I got something to tell you, but please don't hear me out. 'Cause I know you won't listen to a word I say, 'cause I hurt you bad. I know I hurt you so bad.